We went and got a book for the sports cards.
Orange second.
Nice. We might be getting into another business. Now we're looking at this Pokemon card. It says it's ungraded, worth 20 bucks. Graded 75. Man, check this one out. 167 if it's graded, PSA 10. Ungraded, 16, but still, man. Man, look at this on eBay. 5 million, 1998 Japanese 2 Pikachu trophy promo card. All right, I got the laptop. I'm gonna hop into 911 and go work. Start this thing up. I was just leaving the gas station. This guy was like, man, I like the car. So I wanted him to hear the turbo. So I took off and I freaking spilled a monster all over the place. Now I got to stop at another gas station because I don't have anything to wipe it up with. Appreciate everybody watching the channel. If anybody's new to the channel, real quick, I'll just tell you about the car. It's a Carrera S 2020. It's lowered, has a Tech Art body kit, AL 13 wheels, 21-inch wheels in the front, 22 in the rear, Soul Performance exhaust, headers, and cats, and a stage 2 tune, and that's pretty much all the car has. So somebody left a comment. They said, hey, I was kind of lost in the last video. Did you go straight from being a diesel mechanic to e-commerce? But I forgot to mention all the in-between, even before we moved to Florida. So while I was a diesel mechanic and our son had been born, if you guys are not sure what I'm talking about, I mentioned this in a video or two ago. I was talking about the jobs I had, how I made chicken at Roy Rogers, and then I was a mason laborer, then I became a mechanic. But no, so in between the time that I became a mechanic and the time that we moved to Florida for the health of my son and just a life change, I was trying to figure out a way to make extra money. So I started a computer repair business. If you guys want to hear like the whole story, there's a video, like an old video I posted called Becoming an Entrepreneur, Part 1 and Part 2. And I would try to do anything I could to make extra money. So I had a computer repair business. I didn't really know the first thing about repairing computers. I was just using malware bytes and removing viruses. But then it turned into where I was bringing computers to another guy, and he was actually removing the viruses, and then he was charging me less than I was charging the customer. So that was another way I was learning business too. And then I also started a windshield repair company, and I also started the windshield repair company. I don't even think I really repaired any windshields. I think I didn't even get the tool. I just had the logo, and I was telling everybody I had a windshield repair company. I was putting the cards inside the trucks. I might have done a couple, but I didn't make much money from it. Then I started a t-shirt thing. Like I was going to skate parks and selling t-shirts to kids, and I was trying to promote this t-shirt brand that I started. And this was all around like 2012 to 2000. Actually, my son was born in 2009. Probably 2010 to 2013. Around 2013 is when I started a Shopify store and I started selling products. But before I started selling products, I was doing events. I was going to actual physical like festivals and locations, and I was selling products at events. I was literally just hustling like one step at a time. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just trying to figure out a way to get ahead. We were overdrafting our bank account. You know, we had a newborn baby, and every week was like, I might have had like, I don't know, maybe 50 bucks left at the end of the week. And then if I blew it on something dumb, which I did all the time, I'd get hit with the $35 overdraft charge. I know you guys know about that. Some of you guys might, some might not. They didn't live that life. Dollar store and overdraft fees. The worst is when you get hit with the overdraft fee, and then you know, like on Monday, that's what I got going on with the business right now, actually. I've spent so much on Facebook ads because I'm in such a hyper scale mode that not enough of the payout from Shopify went into my account. So on Monday, we have like 43 grand that's about to transfer to our bank account from Shopify, but only 8's going in on Monday. But I think I spent like 15, and I don't have much in the account because I just paid all these invoices because I'm going balls to the wall with trying to scale up all different products and a bunch of different things. But I didn't manage it real well this week. We've had a lot going on. We just had a baby, so. But yeah, the worst is when you get hit with the overdraft fee, and then you know the next like Monday when the week starts, a bunch of other transactions are coming out, and then it's like overdraft. Leave a comment if you've ever had that, where you look at your account and it's like 35, like, and you're like, they're just taking fees from the fees. You're already negative. But the reason I kind of live like that still, even right now I still live like that, is because I learned if you don't find a place for your money, it'll find a place for itself. So if you look at my checking account, I might have 500 bucks in there. Maybe I have 100. I don't even know. I gotta look. I think it's $128 in my regular checking, not my business, my regular checking account. But if you go on my stock account, I have, in just our like personal stock, like taxable account, we have 1.3 million. And that's what I do. There's a book I listened to years ago called The Richest Man in Babylon. And what that book is about paying yourself first. So you'll find that a lot of people that are having a hard time getting ahead, this is not, don't judge me by saying they're having a hard time getting ahead, because I know when you can't even get ahead, it's hard to even invest or anything like that. I'm not saying it like that, like some guy that doesn't even understand regular life. I'm talking about, let's say you do have a decent amount of money coming in, or you have a solid paycheck and you have a little extra. What people that don't invest and don't save and don't ever pull ahead usually do is they usually spend first, pay things first, and invest what's left, or save what's left. What I do is I invest first, and then I spend what's left. And if I don't have, I do this, dude, I even do it now. It's careless. The only reason I can do it is because I have a business. If you don't have a way to generate income, like on your own, and by the way, guys, I'm not selling anything. When you guys are watching this channel, I don't want you guys to think like, oh, this sounds like he's about to sell me some course. You know, I'm not selling anything. I'm just making YouTube videos for fun, just to share. I'm still trying to figure out how to get ahead myself. You know what I mean? Like I guarantee there's people watching this channel, they're like, look at this dumb kid. He's got his dumb 911 and his little house, and he thinks he's rich, and he's, you know what I mean? So I don't want you guys to think I'm like that. And I know that. I know where I stand in the totem pole of like wealth and things like that. I just have a high school diploma. I never thought I would have a 911 or any of this nice stuff, or a savings account, you know, a stock account with some money in it producing any kind of income. I really never thought that. So I wanted to make these videos so I can share just the mistakes I'm making and my journey and how I'm trying to pull ahead and things that have helped me. So check that book out, Richest Man in Babylon. It's basically about paying yourself first, and it's powerful. If you pay yourself first, what I find is this. I figure out, if I have, like, let's say I have 200 bucks in my checking account, and I know I have something I have to pay for $250, but I don't have to pay it for like 10 days. I take the 200, I'll buy some stocks. But keep in mind, I have an emergency fund. This isn't just careless, like the money's gone, I have no way to pay my bills. You know, I have an emergency fund. I have a way to generate more money if I needed to. I'm not saying if you're like, you have a $600 paycheck to go invest 600 bucks and then hope that you're going to figure out a way to get the money to pay your mortgage. So I'll invest the money, and then I'll be back at broke. And then what will happen is I'll get motivated. I'll go figure out another way to get it. So I'll go back into business. I'll generate it. I'll do a sale, or instead of being complacent where I just let the 600 sit there, I don't invest it. Over time, it dwindles away. It finds a place for itself. It gets spent on something careless, and I never invested it, and the investment account never moves up. I'm not saying this is the strategy. I'm just saying that it's helped me. I go back to broke, and when I go back to broke, I stay hungry. So I don't keep a lot of money available, like liquid, like I can access. What's going on here? Is there a trash can? What is this? Oh, it's a flipped over lid. So check that book out, Richest Man in Babylon. In that book, another thing I learned was the parable about the chessboard, the grains of rice. They talk about that, the power of compounding. That's a good lesson from that book too. So back to the jobs thing. So yeah, I just want to touch on the fact that I didn't really go straight from diesel mechanic to starting an online business. Did a bunch of little things in between. I was always trying to figure out a way to make extra money so I could not be stressed out every week. Because you guys know now it's like almost impossible to have a single family income. Like a one person income coming in and your wife stays home. Where like back in the day, you know, that was easy. That was the standard. And that's all because of inflation. So we need to figure out a way to trade out our trash cash for assets that go up in value over time while they print more money. And I want to start making more like beginner level videos, because I know I jump all around and say things and people are like, what the hell is he talking about? So if you guys aren't aware, the government has a money printer. So we have a thing called the M2 money supply. That's the supply of all of our currency. There's a global M2, and I think there's our regular M2 for the country. So just as a good analogy, let's say you had a Mickey Mantle card and there was 10 of them in your town, and you're like, I have 10 there's 10 of these Mickey Mantle cards and it's worth 250 grand. You're like, dude, this card's awesome. There's scarcity. There's only 10 of them. Like, this thing's only going to go up in value. And then you find out there's a guy who bought a machine that can print Mickey Mantle cards. And let's just say it's like 1950. There's only 10 Mickey Mantle cards. Let's say 1950 to 1960, he only prints like maybe 10 a year. So you're like, it's okay. It's still scarce. There's not that many. And then as time goes on, you're like, what's going on? This guy's printing 100 a day. And the next thing you know, he's printing 1,000 a day. And it's like, the Mickey Mantle card's worthless now. Everybody's got one. They're all over the place. They're freaking and you end up like Venezuela, where there's trash bags full of money like it's toilet paper. Because the Mickey Mantle card's worthless because there's so many. That's basically what's happening with the US dollar. But the only reason that this game can continue is because other countries use our currency and they borrow against our currency. So if you're not sure what inflation is there's more supply of our dollar, US dollar. So as the dollar increases, the supply of the dollar increases, the value of things that are denominated in dollars go up, like hard assets. Like, so for example, someone might say like, my house went up 100 grand. It didn't go up 100 grand. It's still the same house. The dollar went down in value. So now it takes more dollars to get the same house. So if you're saving money and you're just saving the dollar in an account and you don't have any kind of return on any kind of yield, then what's going to happen is over time your purchasing power is going to decrease by whatever the rate of inflation is. So if the rate of inflation is 3%, then your purchasing power is decreasing by 3%. So that's why the goal is to work. Let's just say you get paid in Mickey Mantle cards, and you know the guys down the street with the printer printing Mickey Mantle cards, and every day you get your money. You get paid at work in Mickey Mantle cards. You're like, dude, wouldn't you want to hurry up and get rid of the Mickey Mantle cards so they're not going down in value before you use them? So that's the game, really, is when you get cash, figure out a way to exchange the cash for assets that go up in value, hopefully more than the rate of inflation. And if you do have cash, which everyone needs to have, like an emergency fund or safety net, then store it somewhere where it's not being eroded by the rate of inflation. So like right now, a high yield savings account or something, or short-term US treasuries like SGov. So that's why I have such little amount of liquid cash in my checking account. I just try to invest it all. It's like I don't want to have a bunch of those Mickey Mantle cards in my account where every day they're going down in value. I want them at least to be in an account where it's sustaining the value, purchasing power. I think I said a lot of that stuff wrong, but give me a break. I'm sick. We had a newborn baby. I'm out of the house for the second time this week. I'm headed to work, and I'm sick of making videos. But I really like you guys watching the videos, man. I appreciate you guys. I'm not giving up on YouTube because I'm tired and burnt out. Because I said in the very beginning, I wanted to use this channel as an experiment to see what happens if you don't give up and you just keep posting and you just stay consistent. Consistency is key. It is key. But then I like to talk about frequency. Sometimes you can be consistent, but you're just, the dial's not dialed and you're just off. Like maybe like right now I'm consistent, But you could be beating a dead horse, consistently doing the wrong thing. That's what I feel like I'm doing. I need to get some structure in the channel, I think. It's like I'm consistent, but I got a little static. I'm just right there. I'm like 97.1. I need to be 97.2, and I'm dialed in. All right, let me grab the laptop. I'm gonna head in here and start working. I am down and out today. Yesterday, 29K, $6 in profit. Today, negative $440 so far. That's the e-commerce game. It's like a damn roller coaster. But you know, I want to figure out a way to scale this business up and get it organized so I can sell it. We were in a possible sale in 2021. It was going to be, originally it started off, it was like $11 million. And then it was all the way down to like 6 by the time we had the real buyers ready wanting the thing. But you know, I was reading, at the time we were making $2.4 million in profit. And we had $11 million in sales. But I was reading some articles about acquisition, and if you can get a business over like 5 million in profit, which is crazy because I would need to get, let's just say I had a 10% profit margin. I think it's more like 18, now it's more like 18%. But let's just say, for example, I was able to get the business to where it was making 5 million in profit. The multiple on the sale is like way more. Like, for example, like let's say the multiple at the lower number, like my 2.4 million profit was like maybe, I think it was like 3.5 to 4. Like they were going to pay 4 times earnings or 4 times profit. I think the multiple, if anybody's watching this video knows about merger and acquisitions or anything, I think if you're like over the 5 million mark, you can get a lot larger interest, and the multiple drastically increases. I've heard stories like, 5 million plus profit, and the companies get acquired for like $40 to $60 million. I could be wrong about that, but I would love to know that, because one little piece of information like that can take me to the freaking moon. Because once I learn something like that, I get addicted to wanting to get it to that level. And sometimes the only thing you need to get to that level, once you have the systems and sales, is scaling the ads. I already have the systems in place. I can scale the customer service, I can scale the shipping, I can scale all that stuff. Now I need to scale the ads. I need to scale the attention, because the money follows the attention. All right, guys, just finished working in Starbucks. Heading back to the 911. Work right there. I've been in there for about, I don't know, from probably like, I don't even know, a couple hours. Shout out to everybody watching the channel. Appreciate you guys. Woo! Nice and toasty. I bought some gas station sunglasses. I look like I think I'm in Miami in the 80s.
Ooh. All right. Woo. This is light work.